Hey, what's up? It's Luke, and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for checking out the channel and joining me for another little chat about Magic and my draft experience at Friday Night Magic. This is the second draft for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Got a couple of prize packs which will open at the end of the video, as always. Not as successful as of a draft. I feel like I get into these streaks of winning streaks and losing streaks, and definitely on a losing streak recently, because I went 1 and 2 at today's draft, and I feel like on Arena I haven't been doing that well either. So it is what it is, but that's it's just part of the way Magic is, I feel like. And in these lulls, I feel like you can't get too discouraged, because in Magic sometimes the cards just don't go your way. And for example, today I felt like I kept getting land flooded in my games. It'd just be like draw land, draw land, draw land. And at one point when I started the game, I had almost all lands. I had 6 lands and 1 non-land. Obviously, you have to mulligan a hand like that. So those things are things that happen. They just are what they are. And so you accept that. I was happy to win at least one of my rounds, so I didn't go 0-3, kind of a little saving grace. But I did play today Boros, red and white, which is supposed to be a pretty decent color combo in the format. And I thought I drafted an okay deck. Nothing like extraordinarily spectacular was in the deck, but things were, I guess, good enough, but maybe not good enough against some of the other decks. There was a green deck that I played that had just, I forgot who it was, but it's the one card that has an adventure on it, which they would make a map, and then they could just like look to see if they had a creature they could get off the top of their deck. This person got that card in like every game we played. I was like, what? Early, like turn 1, green, make a map, turn 2, white, play the card. I was like, I couldn't beat that card. I could not beat that card. And so they would run me over with, Kellen, actually I have a copy of that card here. This isn't the one he had, but this is one that I've been sorting, because I have cards to sort that are just sitting here on the desk. But those are cards I couldn't beat. So I felt like, just wasn't my day. But I'll still share the deck with you. I still think there's merit to the deck and good cards that I drafted. And then, of course, we still will get to open our packs and see if we got anything good out of those. So let's turn the camera around and check out the deck. Okay, well, here it is, the deck. And we're starting off with some Goblin Tomb Raiders. Good 1-drop. Really great, actually. If there's artifacts on the table, which oftentimes there are, this thing gets +1/+0 and has haste, so it's a 2/2 with haste. Feels good to have a 1-drop that's a 2/2 with haste. So there we go. Especially when you get 2 of them, that's really great. And then, of course, we're going into the Plundering Pirate, which is your typical sort of red token maker card. When this thing ETBs, you get a treasure token, and then that, of course, enables the Goblin Tomb Raider to have the +1/+0 with haste. And so if you get the Tomb Raider later, you can play it, and it can just fly in and attack if necessary, or if available. Sunfire Torch is also really nice. This gets rid of a lot of the 2-drops that are there. Unfortunately, today I faced a lot of 3, not sort of 2 toughness people that are there, but unfortunately, I face a lot of 3 toughness folks, like old Kellen. So Sunfire Torch, though, not usually that bad. Petrify worked really well for me today. I've been hearing good things about Petrify in this format, and it has worked especially great in sort of more aggressive decks like this one here. Sunshot Militia. This actually did really well to sort of get in little pings of damage, and then, of course, in the end of the game, just kind of ping them out, which happened a few times today. And it's also a really good blocker as a 1/3. So I really like this card. Does a good job. Adaptive Gem Guard. Okay, this guy is cool. I think the bad thing about it, it's a double-edged sword artifact creature. This thing can just get destroyed by anything that destroys artifacts. But man, this thing gets counters on it so much, and it can become such a huge threat because you just have to tap two things, and then it gets +1/+1 counters. So you're just like little trinkety artifacts lying around that don't usually tap. You just tap those things to give this +1/+1. I had two of them in the deck, and this one was actually the white flyer that requires like 4 more things to be tapped to get on the board. I took that, I sided it out because I just couldn't get that card out for whatever reason, but this card is much better. Oh, here's just a random Hidden Courtyard. Abrade, had Abrade in the deck. I've actually come down a little bit on Abrade. I thought this would be like the all-star of all-stars in this format, but it's still great, but just not as great as I had thought. Cosmium Blast, totally okay. Sometimes better than Abrade. Atali's Favor, this is cool. Although, it's not that cool if you don't have a creature to enchant. So, if it's stuck in your hand with all these other lands, like it was today, then obviously it becomes a lot worse. Might of the Ancestors, this was really great. I love this with the bat that has like lifelink, and then especially if it's carrying equipment, then you get +2, and then you're just going to gain all this life. That was fun to do today, and it was also making it really hard for my opponents to sort of make blocks because they knew that my guy would win the combat because of toughness, but maybe something small could take out something a little bit larger because Might of the Ancestors, like the Goblin Tomb Raider. And of course, like the Ruin Lurker Bat. Ruin Lurker Bat is so good. I like this one a lot. I love the lifelink. Anything with lifelink in it is awesome. Ultec Cloud Guard, cool card, of course. One of the best commons in the whole set. I'm glad to have a couple of these. Made a huge difference. The Miner's Guidewing, again, really popular card in this set. This one has Vigilance. You put equipment on any kind of creature that flies, and it just becomes such a good card. Like even a Deconstruction Hammer, you throw that on the creature, it just does the job. Oh, here's another Braid. It should have gone with the other one. Here's a rare that I have in the deck, the Unstable Glyph Bridge. I actually used it once. And what it does is, it's sort of like a board wipe, but you leave alone, you get to choose one for the other player and one for yourself, a creature with power 2 or less, and then everything else goes away. That's creature. So it's like a kind of like a board wipe. And then when you craft it, which is something I was able to do, it becomes this really annoying thing where it's flying. It's a 5/3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during their turn, they can't attack you. So like if they cast a spell, they can't attack you. And if they attack you, they can't cast a spell. So really interesting card. However, this was instantly abraded by something, so that's the only thing that happened that was not so great, because of course it turns into an artifact. Volatile Wanderglyph is cool. Every time you tap, you get a draw, or you get a discard and then draw. Nice little ability there, and that works really well with like the Sunset Militia. It also works well with anything that taps down things, or Sunshot Militia, sorry. Tinker's Tote is a great way to get a bunch of tokens in. Also helps you gain 3 life. Just a really wonderful card. Here's another Tali's Favor. That's awesome. Here's another Sunshot Militia. So ending the sort of deck expo with a couple of commons or a couple of cards that we've already seen. So let's go ahead and crack these set boosters. And then see how we do. We got, I think that's Veto. Getting a treasure token. We got Captain Storm, Cosmium Raider. And, oh, look at that. Mythic Galta, Stampede Tyrant. The crazy 12/12. That's a really nice little pull, I guess. We got another Captain Storm. This is a double Captain Storm deck. We got a Braid in here. Got a Forest. And then, of course, the art card, which I showed you. Alright, pack number 2. Oh, that's pretty sweet. We got whatever that is. I don't even know what that is. We have a map token into a Malamet Brawler. And then Hulking Raptor. This is the one that adds 2 green mana at the beginning of the pre-combat main phase. Cool. Saw Blades, which is a card I like in terms of removal. But the rest, of course, are just more the same. Alright, well, there you have it. Thanks for watching. Had a lot of fun. Can't wait till the next one. Hopefully, I will do a little better than 1 and 2. Till then, I will see you next time.